I'll tell you what, I talked to the guys in the locker room afterwards, and I got some devastating news late last night that one of our former students at our previous institution, not here, but one of our previous institutions, took her own life last night. And it was really tough to get that news. Anytime, a young person feels that, or anybody, young, old, that feels like we can't fight anymore, and does the ultimate, it breaks our heart. And the message to the guys after this game was, if we can learn to keep that same fight that we showed tonight, we're gonna be successful in life. And that's really what it's all about. Every day imperfect, every game imperfect. We played as poor as we can play at times, but we found a way to get it done. And we fought when the adversity was against us, when the chips were down, when we didn't get calls, when we thought the game was over. We stopped them the first time. Our guys just kept fighting. When they got down the line to kick a game-winning field goal, we kept fighting. And that's the sign of a championship football team. That's the sign of championship individuals. And that's what I'm most proud of, that these guys don't quit. They don't complain. They just play football. And that's a message that supersedes what we do on the field. I think that's a message for these guys tomorrow, Monday when they go to class. At some point in the week when they get a tough phone call, the girlfriend breaks up, whatever we go through, we just keep that fighting spirit. I think we're going to be successful. And that's the takeaway from this game. We'll fix the problems. I mean, we had some mishaps. We didn't play very well, but all that stuff is correctable. But it's hard to put this type of fight in these guys, and that's the takeaway from tonight.
Coach, first time FAMU has been here at this stadium. Just talk about the excitement of the FAMU ASU rivalry being renewed and how spirited it was all weekend.
Well, I think you can tell from that group behind us that it was a big-time game. Rattler Nation showed up and showed out, man. It was amazing to look behind us and see a packed house. I don't know the official attendance numbers, but man, I'm so proud of how Rattler Nation came and took over Montgomery. It's not a surprise because that's what we do, but this rivalry, it was one of the games that we were excited about coming into the SWAC. It's really the closest school to us in proximity. And so this is a game that I think people will look forward to for years to come. They're a strong football team, a strong program. Coach Robinson, I tip my hat to the job that he's done. This will be a game that I think for years to come will be a highly contested ball game. And I'm looking forward to what the future holds in this series. But man, this was a great environment to come in and play up in Montgomery tonight.
Coach, coming into the game, you knew you had a good defense. Did you know you would need to rely on them as much as you did today?
We always our goal is to play team football, complementary football, and we don't really segment our team. Obviously, there are three phases of the game. We understand that. There's offense, there's defense, there's special teams. And the sign of a great team is that when one area is down, the other area picks it up. And tonight, offensively, we struggled at times. Didn't really get our ground game going. We didn't throw the ball as well as we needed to in some areas against man coverage. Jeremy threw in 2 interceptions, turned the ball over twice. And we just didn't play very well, had a punt blocked. But our defense kept us in it. And then special teams came up big in the end, right? And I think that's the sign of a good team, right? Football is about being a team sport. And it would be lovely if every game the offense went 500 yards and 40 points. Every game the defense shut the guys out. Every game the special teams, ran kicks back for touchdowns and blocked. It doesn't work like that in football. When you play good football teams, it's going to take complementary football from everybody, and that's what we played tonight. So I tip my hat to our defense. Stellar football all night long. Don't know the official numbers, but we kept those guys in check and really kept our team in a position to win the game, and that's what we were able to do tonight.
And you coached a guy last year who's now NFL, Martinsville, and of course, Isaiah Lane is one of those guys who's special. But I saw a lot of other talent out on the field on both sides of the ball, and it kind of echoes what Coach Sanders was saying about in Jackson State, that there's a lot of talent in the SWAC. Do you feel that way, having seen ASU firsthand and and playing against your guys, because you see your guys all the time. So is that what you're saying? You see that?
No question about it. You know, we're going to get the national respect we deserve. May not be today, may not be by the end of the season, but the SWAC will get the national recognition it deserves. They're phenomenal football coaches in this conference. They're really, really good football players in this conference. They're guys that are going to continue to play football beyond their collegiate days, you know, within this conference. We have a couple on our team. Alabama State has some. Jackson. I mean, you go down the list of the 12 member schools in this conference, and you see talent every single week. And so, again, I think the nation will eventually be forced to take notice as to the level of football we have in this conference. They'll be forced to take notice to the level of coaching that we have, because we just made a habit of doing more with less. And I think sometimes people overlook that fact that we don't have the resources that other conferences have just yet. We're slowly getting them there. We're playing in one of the best venues in all of FCS. I don't care what conference, come to this stadium and you see a Division I FBS looking stadium. And so again, you know, we're all slowly getting our facilities where it needs to be. We're all getting our recruiting where it needs to be. And this conference is definitely ascending at a level that I don't know if it has in a long time.
You could actually get a call from the playoff committee maybe Monday or sometime when they decide to make a decision. Is that something that you're looking forward to, if given that opportunity?
Well, obviously that's been our goal, you know, ever since the Jackson State game. You know, we knew that it was going to be a long shot to win the East. You know, Jackson's a really good football team. They've shown that over the last couple of years, and didn't really foresee them losing twice. And so we found ourselves in the same position that we were in last year, that we needed to play really good football, that we needed to for all intents and purposes, win out and you know, fight for one of those at-large playoff berths. We're in the same boat. It all comes down to what happens this weekend, right? We took care of business tonight, not in convincing fashion, but we took care of business tonight. And now, just like 4 to 5 years I've been here, everything is riding on this game, on the Florida Classic. And so, you know, we're real careful not to talk about it beforehand, because we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Our goal was to go 1-0 this weekend, but now that we've taken care of that, 24-hour rule is going to be a lot shorter this week. We're going to get on these Wildcats immediately, because we know what's at stake. We know that this is the one that every Rattler lives for 365 days a year. And we know how important this game is on many fronts, and we definitely got to prepare ourselves to go down there for a dogfight. And we take care of business and go 1-0 this coming week, I think we'll find ourselves right back in the FCS playoffs.
Coach, going down the last offensive possession for the Rattlers, Jamari Sharif talking about resilience. Jamari Sharif was not able to reel in a pass that Musa dropped right in there. Yet you go back to him again in crunch time, and he delivered in a big way.
No question about it, right? And that's what we're talking about. You know, that fight, that never give up spirit. He could have easily got down himself. I mean, Jeremy couldn't have thrown a better ball. I mean, hit him in both hands, in stride. And K-Dot has made amazing catches this year. I mean, he's made sports in the top 10 catches, and probably the biggest drop of his life, right? But came back the next drive, and Jeremy threw a great ball. He caught it and wheeled his way into the end zone, right? So that just, again, it goes back to that fighting spirit that we talk about all the time. And again, I'm just proud of these guys for just their resilience. Jeremy, obviously, you know, at times did not play very well, made some very poor decisions, particularly that late. But a lot of that falls on me. I'm his position coach, so I got to take ownership of making sure that he understands the situation of football, right? But again, that's why I said all those things are correct. We're fine on that, but it's really hard to put dog in somebody. But these guys that I'm coaching, they got a lot of dog in them, and I'll go to war with these guys any day of the week.
Coach, question from Ryan Kelly. He says, what does it say about this team's maturity to keep finding ways to win on the road, even after tough breaks and mistakes? Well,
again, it just shows that they're a resilient bunch. They're a bunch that believes in this process. You know, throughout the course of a 60-minute game, there are ebbs and flows, right? You hit your stride, you do great things. We came out the first drive, went down there and scored, converted some big 3rd and longs right out the gate, and then kind of hit a lull there, right? Defensively, we played pretty well consistently throughout the night. Special teams played really well, except for an offsides and a block punt for a touchdown. And so, again, the goal for us is the same. Let's keep working to find a way to be consistent for 60 minutes. We do that, we got a chance to be a very, very dangerous football team. But it says that these guys believe in what we're doing. They believe in each other, and they're in a whole lot. Well, they ain't in it. They ain't in it quitting this bunch. And as long as they keep that, we're gonna be just fine.
Any more questions for Coach?
Oh yeah, I got one. Alabama State lining up for the field goal, 3 seconds left. What do you tell your special teams?
We got to get some push, right? I just told them in the locker room, right? I went to Donald Hall, Big 93. Donald's listed at 315, but we're being very generous with that. And so it's time to put all that weight to use. We need to get some push. We knew it would have to be a lower line drive field goal. The kicker was kind of out of his range. 52 is a long field goal for a collegiate kicker, and he would have had to put everything he had into it to make it. So we knew it was going to be kind of a low line drive kick. So I told him right when we went out, we need inside push. We had a block coming off the edge, but if their operation time is good, we're not going to get there. We needed that inside push. And Donald, Stanley Mentor, those, I don't know who officially blocked it, but we just, faith. That's our first word in our program is faith.